Great, so we'll get started with tonight's Historic Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, April 17th, and it's 5:30 p.m. So we need to kick off. I'll ask the board members if you had a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting, April 3rd.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, you know what, before that, we do a quick roll call. I know Al Marty is absent. I am present. Commissioner Roll is absent. Commissioner Zorzi. Here in person. Thank you, Commissioner Walsh.
Here online.
Excellent. And Commissioner Nestor.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we'll get to this. Woo! Okay, I would entertain a motion for acceptance of the minutes.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. The first hearing is actually a continued meeting from for 70 Buckingham Street. You guys can come forward. I know that it was the planter boxes in garden trellis with gates. Name the address again for the record, please.
Victoria Chance, 70 Buckingham Street. Ashland Patridge, 70 Buckingham Street.
Great, welcome back, folks. So the just to refresh everybody's memory, the reason for the continuance was for the garden trellises and the planter boxes. There was a question as to whether or not the planter boxes were allowed under the city zoning ordinance, because you guys wanted to remove the fence, have the boxes along the sidewalk on your property, but along the sidewalk line. So staff confirmed with planning director Phil Dromey, the zoning administrator Mike Yakum, that the additional permitting would not be required. So that won't be an issue. Okay, so again, the application is one for appropriateness. It would be to remove the chain link fence, construct planter boxes, and a garden trellis. Okay, so nothing's changed, all the same, right? Any follow-up questions from commissioners?
Mr. Chair, does this change this to non-applicability?
I guess I would err on the side of caution and say the trellises and the planter boxes are structures under the historic ordinance. I don't know, you could.
Well, there's a difference if it's temporary, if it's not a permanent structure. Fence, because it is, put into the ground and stuff. But I mean, the trellis, I'm not sure if it's considered permanent or not. The planting boxes, I would not consider them permanent myself. So I'm just looking for anybody else's opinion. Thank you.
I would agree. I would think the planter boxes they're not, you're not pouring concrete, right? They're wood, they're cloth, so they would the same way they're gonna go together, they could come apart. Right, the trellis, same way, it's not gonna be.
It has spikes in the ground.
Yes.
But it's not cement.
So I would agree, Commissioner Walsh, they both would be temporary items.
Then I would no, Andrew, I'm not sure if we need a motion, but I would suggest that this can be signed off as a non-applicability.
Okay. So I would just have you guys, if you could just change the box, it's just check non-applicability. So we have the application for our documentation, correct? And having been non-applicable, we wouldn't vote on it, right?
It wouldn't hurt to take a vote, but you don't have to.
Okay, well, we're here, they're here, so Why not?
Well,
Right?
I'll make a motion that we consider this application one of non-applicability.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Good luck, you guys. Good luck with your project.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay, the next item is the 110 Thompson Street, and the petitioner has asked for continuance to May.
For the purposes of obtaining slopes, to try to show the hardship.
So we need to, they made the request, we don't need to have a motion or.
I would make a
And
motion.
this won't time out, I'm assuming.
No, there's
So they
still
just
two
apply.
meeting spots.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion for 110 Thompson Street to be continued to the next meeting.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, so we'll leave it to the meeting in May. Uh, 95-97 Chestnut Street. Any of the previous items?
John Long, facilities, Springfield Museums, 554 Main Street, Somerset County.
Welcome back.
Thank you, how are you?
Fabulous, how are you? Good.
Here tonight to request, the facade, 95-97. Chestnut Street, Mattoon Street side. Two paintings black. And it runs with the already approved front and alley side. Maybe Jennifer's here from the Mattoon Street Historic Preservation Association with the letter.
We have a interview, have a copy of the letter of support or letter of approval.
I do know.
Great.
Thank you.
There's two, you can have one, I'll just read one to the record. Well, I'll just read this into the record. Mattoon Street Historic Preservation Association, to the Springfield Historic Commission, already proposed wall paint on Mattoon Street Drive and Museum Cafe. Dear Commissioners, the Mattoon Street Historic Preservation Association, MSHPA, has discussed the plan to paint the Mattoon Street side of the Museum Cafe black to match the front Chestnut Street side facing of the business. MSHPA agrees that matching the black paint will provide a subtle renewal to this corner of our neighborhood. We look forward to welcoming this new business to the area. According to Jennifer Reinhold, Secretary of Mattoon Street Historic Preservation. Any questions from commissioners on the painting of the side of the building?
No.
Okay, do we have any letters?
No, right.
No written public comment? Okay, I'll open it up to public comment, if anyone would like to speak for or against this project at 95-97 Chestnut Street. Against, okay. Hearing none, I'll close the public commentary for that. With that, I would entertain a motion from a board member to accept the application.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Great. Thank you. Love your project. As we say with everybody, if anything changes, they come back and talk to us, right? This is an easy one, right? Have a great night.
You too.
Okay, the next project is 1517 Litchfield Street. Hi.
Victoria, you got 15 some Monday?
This is the,
Yes,
okay, great. Awesome, so tell us about the project.
The work has already been completed, and the city, someone from the city came and asked for a permit so they can inspect the work. And I pulled a permit and, you know, now I'm here, because this is an historic neighborhood. So you can see the work has already been done. I came in after when asked to pull a permit for the property. They use the same material. I asked for photos of what it looked like before. It looks like it was painted, but I'm not sure if that's something. Why?
So who actually was the contractor that actually did the work?
It is someone that they hired.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. If they're
Who is staying?
the contractor,
So you hired for your.
no, I did not hire.
So the owner is Ronnie Puzon,
Yes, yeah.
right? So he hired somebody to do all the your kids,
Repair the decks, yeah,
right?
all of them, the decking boards and the railings.
So you don't have any pictures of what was there before?
I asked to.
Andrew, do you have anything? A file or anything from Google that we could look at?
Nothing that shows the way it's situated on the property doesn't really give us a good vantage point.
Yeah, there's in Google, Maps, there's a lot of trees in the way, a couple of tall. From the street. It's behind the property, it's not in front of the property, so it's difficult to see from the street.
Keep going further in a second.
Behind, but you can see it from somewhat
Street.
from the street.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can see there's a little bit of profile.
Yeah. There it is.
Be able to see what's reads in back and see what's, if there's anything from the public way.
So that's a previous view.
Yeah, that looks like the old ones.
yeah,
Right.
so. It looks like the side, they used the side there. But what is behind, I'm assuming. It was also pressure treated by a nine. The posts, the 4x4 posts, they're still there. And
So
you
that's
can
the
still
second
see them,
one.
yeah, those weren't changed. Though,
So I mean, these, what we have in our packet are is definitive.
yeah, so that's in
Right.
black and white,
Yeah.
but the color,
So these are the color ones. So they're painted to match the siding?
I don't think it's a different color that is there. That's The new is done.
Mm.
And then
I was gonna say, it just looks like pressure treated that hasn't been painted, probably because it's curing. How long ago did they do this?
this was this year, 2 months ago.
Any questions from commissioners?
What has your employer given you to do for this?
They are. They asked me to pull a permit for them, so that someone from the city can come and inspect the work that was done. They never pulled a permit. So the inspector's gonna come and inspect, the work. And. That's all I was.
Have they inspected the work yet?
In order for them to inspect, approve the permit, they need approval. And then they can.
But it doesn't look like what was there. You could see that from the other photos.
I mean, yes, you're right. It's definitely different. Sign.
So the only thing that's changed is the rails and flooring.
What is are those shingles, wood shingles?
That, I think that's aluminum siding.
Yeah, I think the building has aluminum siding and white replacement windows already.
Yeah.
And honestly, the way that these spindles are done look better than the aluminum siding that was there when it started, in my humble opinion. My humble opinion.
It definitely looks better.
Let's be-
And safer.
Well, for sure, it's structurally safer. Assuming. But. I can't tell from the pictures, but it does look like the railings are capped correctly and the spindles go inside the rail. It's hard to tell from how far away the shot is.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
These aren't stapled to the outside, but they do look like they come underneath at least that rail board.
So on the inside, you look at the upper part.
We can get a. We can get a quicker, yeah, so they're just,
Your nail.
it's all in the front, so the backs, I'm not sure what the back looks like.
Do you remember?
It looks like there's a top railing.
And is this spindle on the outside? Can you see the top of the spindle from inside? Along the down?
I think so. I'm not too entirely sure. I didn't go.
Because it doesn't look like they go in, but it doesn't look bad.
It definitely.
Chairman Crowe,
Go ahead, Commissioner Wall.
if I could, I just have a couple of questions. The person speaking, what is her relationship to the owner or the building? Because it seems like she doesn't know the building.
No, I don't know the owner, but the owner has a property management company that I have worked with before. And occasionally I pull permits for them, so this is just. They started doing the work. Without pulling a permit. And they got caught.
And what was what was the contractor business name?
The management company is
No, the one actually doing the work.
Val.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not licensed or anything like that.
He's
So-
not. He's not licensed.
No, so.
So it was unpermitted and unlicensed. That's just for my own information. I'd like to know that. It looks like I wish we had a better picture, but we don't. But it looks like it's done neatly, and certainly the railings look like they were done. I agree with uh, Chairman Kroll that those railings look structurally sound compared to what might have been there before with the aluminum siding. You could never tell what was there. Um, I'm just was curious why they sent you to represent this application, other than you tried to pull a permit for it.
Yeah, I mean, I am getting compensated for it.
Well, that's not. I don't mean that. I mean it was.
I don't know, I don't understand your
But you
frustration.
weren't part of the organization, you
No,
didn't do the work,
I
you didn't
don't,
do,
yeah.
you had nothing to do with the construction, you didn't
Yeah.
know the owner. Everything got done,
I
but
just
you're
know
the
that
here,
they-
you're the one here coming to you saying, hey,
I'm just
We,
telling, they have no one to come here to, you know,
So
so.
the management company was hired by the owner.
And they manage all his properties, so I think
and
the safety issue with the deck and.
right, but who's the management company?
Who's sorry?
The
Lassard?
The name?
they're the manager. No.
Management. VP management. I forget if it's VP
So
management
if
or.
VP
I can't-
management manages all of these properties, they would have hired someone to do this work.
Yes, yeah, I don't know who they hired or anything like that, but they just contacted
Okay.
to help them resolve this issue, I guess circles upon. I was not part of the construction.
Um, may I again,
Please,
Chairman?
continue.
Yeah, this bothers me a lot that they did the permit. They obviously went without a permit, so they weren't worried about us either. And I mean, it does look, the picture makes the work look like it was done well and properly, except that the original columns, which they seem to have used over, I don't know that those were pressure treated, but they could very well have. It had been rebuilt once before. It could have been. Um, but I'm concerned that an owner of a property didn't show, and the management of the property didn't show, and they just sent somebody over that's never even been to or seen the building to do this. So I'm not sure what our resolution is going to be, but I don't know that I can vote to say, yeah, okay, this is okay, without the people who actually either own the building or management or did it, instead of just sending somebody who doesn't know anything about it. How can I vote to say that's okay? I mean, I'm open to any suggestions.
So are you saying you would like to make a motion to continue and ask that the owner or the property manager that did the work come back and actually?
Well, I would like to know who actually when it happened, when it started, who did the work, what was the condition before, were they cited for it? Obviously, that would make somebody speed up a project, but it still shouldn't make them go where they don't have a permit and we don't even know who the construction company or the management company is. All of that bothers me a little bit. But I don't know how I'm not sure that I don't think it would be bad to drag it out a meeting, like try to get somebody here or who is an owner or the actual management company instead of somebody who's not related. Now, you said you compensate. I don't care if the compensation. I hope you get it paid well for this. But you really had no relationship to this building. They just asked you to come in and do this.
Well, Val is a relative,
Jesus.
not me, but some of my family.
Yeah.
Well, you probably should have said that at the start, but
I didn't want to implicate him in any way, so.
Well, he probably implicated himself in this. You probably had nothing to do with it.
So,
I would,
What you're saying is the gentleman who did the work is a relative of yours.
yes,
And he is unlicensed, and
yes,
he did the work, and that's why you didn't want to mention that.
right, I mean,
You get him in trouble.
right, yeah. So that's, I feel like that's something he can deal with outside of this,
I understand.
you know what I mean?
So I guess what I'm hearing is we would have a motion to continue, and we would invite either whoever did the work or the owner to come.
or
and,
both.
direct
I would,
questions.
I would make that motion to continue to the next meeting with to have Andrew reach out to the owner and the management company and the contractor to see who we can get at the next meeting.
We have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, great, so we're gonna continue, and Andrew will just reach out to them and. invite them back.
Or me contact information.
The property management.
Owner, management company, yeah. That'd be great.
Alright, thank you guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
Right.
I felt like it was a mystery. We were unfolding.
Did, it's a short story. Okay, 102 Dartmouth Street. So this will be the first one, which will be the strip roof. Welcome, I'll get your name and address for the record, home address.
Yeah, Sean Jones, 2 Renters Way, House 18, Granby, Connecticut, 06035.
Should I give the body?
102 Dartmouth Street, yes, very good. Okay, so tell us about your project.
So, Wale is a customer of mine, homeowner, who is looking to have us replace his roof and install solar at the 102 Dartmouth Street location. The roof replacement would be a granite black shingle. I have a example of that if you'd like to see. And then we could strip his current roof to the deck, replace any damaged or compromised plywood, and then synthetic underlay the whole roof, ice and water shield the perimeter, and flashings, ridge vent, and install a granite black architectural style shingle. That would all be done in one day.
Okay.
And what's on it now?
So this is an application for the hardship, and the hardship is, it's a current slate roof. Right, so the hardship justification is that it's not appropriate fit for installation of solar panels. So you want to strip the slate and replace it with asphalt. If the slate is not replaced with said asphalt, the homeowner will not be able to continue solar installation. This in turn will prevent the homeowner from lowering their electric bill and speaking of financial hardship. So the first natural question is, does the current slate roof, does it leak?
Previous years it was leaking.
But does it leak now?
No,
So it doesn't leak now. Okay, so the whole purpose to replace the roof is to get solar. Essentially.
Well, I think also to get a new roof.
to get a new roof
Yeah.
also because I've tried in the past years when I was moving. I tried to get roof going. The roof was leaking. I think that was a year we had a lot of snow, and I was at work. The member called me. He said the roof was leaking.
Yeah.
I think the ice was melting. It was leaking water into the house. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all roofs age, I mean, whether it's asphalt or slate, you know, you're gonna have like weather events, we all deal with it, I mean, I have an asphalt roof and. If you have some kind of weather event, you also need maintenance, right, it's like anything else.
Yeah, so.
Have you contacted any slate roofs, or have you had the roof maintained by anybody? Or
No,
looked at, or
I did, but
maintenance at all, or?
I did what I did was I just did a quote back in that year. I contacted, Home Depot. Back here, and, what do you call it? Another company contacted me. It was a lot of money. So I couldn't do it. When people charge for the full house, that
For,
for roof.
to replace the slate with something else?
Yes, not just the roof, the whole roof.
So are you saying they were going to put new slate on there?
Yes. And that was the quote they gave me.
I've never knew Home Depot did slate, I didn't think they did.
They were giving me a quotation,
Okay,
so I said I can. That, so, like, Costco was the other one. They said they would do that for 33,000. And I said, well, I didn't. So I stopped. Till when I decided to go. I've now shingle off of the roof, they fall off the roof.
please.
So you said that before the house was leaking, how did you stop the leak?
Well, I called my insurance. I tried to see if they can help, right? So, but they said they could do it, but they're gonna have to drop me if they fix it. And I'm kind of scared, because I don't want them to drop me. So what I did was I said, well, I'm gonna zoom it out till when the weather is okay. And I was talking to that person on the phone. She said if I can dip my hand into the area where the water was falling out of. I did. So the water just, I don't know, for some reason the water fell.
It turns out it's got somewhere to go.
So.
You're in the water, you gave the water somewhere to go.
So,
Yeah.
it fell off, and then I had to use, I don't know much about all this stuff.
Sure.
I went to Home Depot and I bought it and I just slapped it back. Right on the kitchen area, and it went dry and it stopped. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wing it out. Since then, I never had that problem again. So, but what I'm doing now is just like, every time that anything wants to happen, I just go there and I just.
Are we able to get a better picture of like the current condition of the slate?
This is probably the best that I have.
Can you get any closer?
I'm just gonna try and use the magic book.
I feel like some of the roof is asphalt shingle.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the,
On this side, if we go towards the back,
It's slate.
it's like it's falling.
So
but the front,
is that
Those are all
slate?
shingles.
Those
so
porch-
that's asphalt on the front.
So the front has asphalt, where does the slate start?
Is it on the back side of the peak roof?
Sinks, there's no look at some. When you were reading that, I was pretty surprised. I thought it was.
So Aaron, I think, is the one that coordinates the submission of the application. She was the one that told me that there was slate roof.
Okay.
It's not, yeah, and so that's why when she told me that I told her that we're gonna have to postpone the solar because we have to address the slate.
I don't think this is a slate roof. You're on my street. I'm in the middle. I think this is all asphalt.
Yeah.
I don't remember this house ever having slate since I've been to the neighborhood.
No.
Which would.
Unless it was on the back, which you probably wouldn't see from, Clarendon anyway. I think that's an all asphalt shingle house.
Yes. That's what I recall. As you were reading that, I was.
I think it's 3 tab asphalt. I don't think there's any slate on that.
When I was looking at these pictures, I was a little bit taken aback to learn that it was slate. Because they didn't look slate.
Yeah,
I thought you were reading my other project.
So I think we can agree that we can maybe agree that it's not slate,
Right. This is. an
Right.
asphalt.
Right.
it's already an asphalt, it's a gray asphalt. 3 tab roof.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Wall,
Yeah, I just want to agree that even if part of that were still slate, it looks like a significant part of it is already removed. And if there were some portion left, it wouldn't make sense. So I would consider it an asphalt roof already. It's
so with that, let's just get back to the type of shingle.
Yep.
And the color, please.
Granite black asphalt architectural style performance, shingle.
Okay.
And like I said, I have examples of that. Here,
Great,
we're going to have granite black.
everyone gets excited, historic with black. Commissioner Walls, can you see it?
I can.
Okay, this one up here. In black. Although I like the Monaco red as well.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I can see that you're holding it. I can't really see it that enough to know the difference. I'll take your word for it.
It's a black engineering shingle.
Okay.
Hey, any other questions from commissioners?
No, sir.
And this is warranty, workmanship 25 years, 50-year limited lifetime shingle, 130-mile-per-hour winds, so it's covered. See it in the future. They are now considered solar and roof. It's a big part of what we do now. It's a passion.
Okay, very good. No other comment from the commission. I'll open up to public comment. Does anyone have a opinion for or against the project as presented?
Harry Seymour, 68 Washington Road, and I just want to speak for it. I think it's gonna be, I'm so glad that you're not tearing off a slate roof. But it'll be nice when it's done.
Thank you.
Great.
I agree. Built it, class built for about 100 lane. I think, it's gonna be a beautiful, nice historic area. That it become like and look like the other houses.
Great. Okay, thank you for public comment. We'll close public comment. With that, any other discussion from board members? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to accept the proposal.
second,
No other discussion on the motion?
Hold on a second. I think I might have lost the audio for a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was under hardship?
This was originally under hardship.
This is, what's this we're reading
This is
now?
the first
It's
one.
different.
The first 102 Dartmouth Street, which is for the roof.
Yeah, but if the roof was already asphalt, then
It is.
it would fall
It
under
is.
appropriateness.
Okay. I would agree. You wanna,
Just amend it to appropriateness and it'll be fine.
Here, we're gonna change it from hardship to appropriateness. Good catch. Commissioner Walsh,
Say that again, please.
hey, good catch.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so with that, the application has been changed to appropriateness.
Make a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at Dartmouth Street to replace the roof with the shingles as presented.
All those in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Okay, nice to have it. Roof's approved. One check. Second item. Just for procedure, again, please, one more time, name and address for the record.
Boy, Shivandi, property owner of 21 Clifford. No, we're
102 Dartmouth.
I mean, I'm sorry, 102 Dartmouth. Never mind.
Just home address, you're all good, 102 Dartmouth,
102
right?
Dartmouth.
All right,
Sean Jones, 2 Merchants Way, House 18, Ready, 06035.
okay, so we have an application for solar at the same address. With an application of appropriateness. So tell us about the solar project.
Oh, just. We're doing a solar install of 38 panels on top of 102 Dartmouth Street. On the front section, this is a tall home.
Yeah.
So the front, you'll see that we have six panels on each side for a total of 12. So I'm referring to the front because that's what you can see from Dartmouth Street. But it's a pretty tall house, so the likelihood of seeing a lot of panels once you go across the street and in someone's driveway is pretty minimal. They're gonna be a black style panel without the aluminum stitching. So with the granite black roof that we installed, the black panels will blend in nicely.
And none of those panels are on either of the 2 front roofs.
Just
So there's not one on the front porch roof.
Nope.
And there's not one on the second open porch roof.
Nope.
All of these panels are gonna be on the first peak. Or the rear peaks,
Yes, sir.
right? Like the terminology I got there with this.
No porch, all peak.
All right.
And those are like 30 feet up because it's a 3-story home, so. Yeah.
And where are the conduits gonna come down? They come down inside from the attic down into the basement? They coming on the
I
outside?
try to remember your meter on the outside of the home, and yes. Yeah, so we're gonna 2-gang meter, I think it's 1-gang meter. We're gonna pull that out to whatever side the panels on. And in your basement, the panels on the back rear side of the house, in the basement. Was the. Until the front of the house, but we're gonna go on, I would assume the right side. I'm trying to remember what the panel was, but wherever his panel is, and we're assuming it to be on the front of the home, they're not gonna stick it on the front of the home, we're gonna stick it on the side.
Okay, so it's important for us to, from the front, to know where that's gonna be on the outside.
So I would say on the right
Can
side,
you please pull up the,
Is that,
because
These are the meters.
that's it right there, right?
yeah,
is that where you're going to put it?
Can you get a picture, the actual picture of the house from the front?
yeah, that is I'm looking at it, so that's the right side.
So it'll be on the abutting side of the neighbor on the right there. Right where the tree was.
Yep. There, yeah. And you'll have 3 different things there. You'll have the solar meter. You will have the
Shut off.
emergency shut off and the inverter box. And then what we usually do is one conduit straight up to the roof and goes to where the solar are installed. So you'll see something run along that roof line, I'm assuming. And then we'll have one going to the basement through the bricks. To the panel. One up and then.
So the conduit's gonna be on the outside.
And it's going up that sloping piece?
I would assume that to be where it would go, because it has to go immediately to where the panels are, which would be on that top peak. And then thing under the panel this side. So it's gonna be conduit.
Chairman,
Please. Commissioner
Yeah.
Walsh?
yeah, we can't have. Gonna be, we have to know where the conduit's gonna be, we have to know where the boxes are gonna be. Before we can approve something. Or before I can approve something. It can't be, well, it's gonna be, if you gotta know where their electrical things, we gotta know how to minimize it. Is there a better place to put it or somewhere we can put it where we can do something to minimize the visibility from the street? But he doesn't have it appears he doesn't have the knowledge of exactly where some of these things are gonna go. And how to minimize them when they're doing it.
Second, check the diagram.
I'm looking at that, please.
So, do we have our, like solar panel recommendations on the site, along with like all our other, like the windows? Cause I know we kind of have a rough guide on solar.
Yeah, like, let's see. Yeah,
I mean, I know what they are, I'm just wondering for individuals or solar companies that maybe aren't familiar, that they would have access to that.
yeah, I mean,
They would know what we're looking for when they come in.
I am actually unfamiliar with the solar ones, if we do have guidelines, I can look for them, but. this is what
We've
come
done
up.
stuff, we did stuff on porches, we did stuff on new construction, we did stuff on windows,
Yeah.
we've done stuff on. We've tried to do everything as like a suggested
Yeah.
piece, so that people don't have to come in blind and
Would that
learn
fall
all
under,
the things that we were looking for.
would that fall under the mechanical equipment?
Yeah, it could be solar, I mean, we had it under solar guidelines. Commissioner Walsh, do you remember what that fell under? Solar guidelines?
I thought it was in the mechanical
So what I'm
as
seeing,
well.
line on R10. Is where the conduit will run, so R10 is. Where you see the big peak. Yes.
Okay, so the spot we were talking about in the front of the house with the front picture,
So you see where can I stand up? So you see where the meter is here?
Yep.
And we're talking running up along this roof line.
can you go to the front?
Yeah.
Three-dimensional picture, please.
Yeah.
So it is where the boxes are drawn.
Oh, it has to be this way. Mhm.
What you're saying is that it will go up where? On top of the roof, against the back?
Right there with the thumb, yes, or the finger.
And go up that line.
Yes. And it's like aluminum style conduit. Oh,
So historically, it's all about reducing what you see. So what we would want to see is the conduit to run either in the valley and painted to match what's behind it. So if it's coming up the first 12 feet and it's along the clapboard, then it should look like mustard. If it's going up the valley, you can, if you want to blend it into the black
I just wanna
shingles,
be
then you
clear
can
on what
blend
you're
it into the
saying.
black shingles.
When you're talking about blending
Yeah.
into the black shingle right there, correct?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
right?
You're trying to not see it. It's
Oh,
all
of
about
course, yes.
minimal visibility. Commissioner Wall said, it's all about minimal visibility. How do you try and hide it? So you still see the beauty of the house and you don't see solar conduit, right? So, shiny aluminum conduit's like, how? Right, so you're trying to make it soften and kind of go away.
Will do.
So if you can make that color, the same color of whatever's behind it, that'll kind of make it disappear.
That'll run on the black asphalt shingle there.
Okay, and so just for future reference, when you come with this, it would be beneficial if you have a drawing or something, you could even draw it in where that conduit's gonna run on a picture. Even if you just draw it on a picture, then we'll have a better idea of where the conduit's gonna go. And you could even write on it, you know, color to match. But then we'll know where the conduit's gonna go and you'll know where the conduit's gonna go. Because that's one of our, it's minimal visibility, right? Minimal visibility. That's gonna be the thing that we always kind of try and help camouflage. Then you'll know and it'll be easier for us to understand. So black on black, right? You're gonna have the black roof, you're gonna have black and it's standard set, so the panels are gonna be
4 inches off.
4 inches off the deck.
For the bracketing, eco-suit fastening bracketing system.
Okay. And pipes that connect any of the panels, will there be conduit that connects any of those panels? Everything will be in the attic. Perfect.
And there's no way to not do it through the attic.
So I'm also thinking, maybe we can run it on the base of the home to the back and then go up that way.
Mhm.
To get it all.
Mm-hmm. That would be best.
That's what
So
we'll do.
if you can do that. And you wanna make that part of this application,
That's what we'll do.
okay?
Commissioner?
Please.
Mr. Chair, yeah, the placement of all the utility boxes, because he didn't sound like he was, that's where they put him in the picture. But
Yep.
if they don't know what's going on in the inside, then they might not have to be there, and I would prefer to have a different place for those to be considered, or some mitigation by the property owner.
So the
So
owner's here, so let's just ask them, where's.
Well, the mitigation, so
The basement, is it in that front corner?
It's in the
Or
front,
is it somewhere else?
it's in the front corner.
So it's in the same corner where this shut off will be drawn.
Mhm.
So Commissioner Walsh, the homeowner's saying that's where his existing panel is in that front corner.
Okay, so is there anything you can do to mitigate, because that's the worst, sometimes the worst part is you're just putting 3 or 4 metal boxes on the side of the house. And if it can be mitigated by shrubs or something like that, that would at least block it somewhat.
Also,
The concrete sidewalk looks like.
Yeah, there's a sidewalk there.
How far does the porch bump up? Is that just maybe like a foot or 6 inches, or does it come out?
Yes, it comes out.
Just a little, or does it, how far does that come out?
The porch.
Yeah,
To the side, toward us.
yeah, or is it straight across? In other words, does the porch just go straight across to the rest of the shakes, or does this actually come out?
It comes out.
Okay.
Because if the meter's on the inside, there may be a better way or a better different place. It depends on what you can do in the basement, if it can be put somewhere else, especially if you're going to run conduit up the back. Could these boxes not be on the back of the house?
Could the panel be moved to the back of the basement and then shut offs are in the back, or does it have to be in the front?
No, I know it has to be a certain a distance or footage away from where the panel is in the basement. So pushing it back maybe to the middle of the property, and then that bush is kind of hiding it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go back at least behind where that fence line starts with the neighbor, that would hide it a lot.
Okay.
Well, anything it is all about minimal visibility. So
That's the word, those are the 2 words of the day.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay, because just a reminder, whatever we approve is what the project has to be, and if for some reason that can't happen, that's okay, but you gotta come back before you do the project.
Mhm.
So if for some reason that all that stuff can't move back and it has to stay in front, then you'd have to come back.
Not gonna be a problem.
Same with, I mean, it's the same with any of these items, whatever we approve, that's what we approve, so if you can't do it, and something has to be changed, then you have to come back. Okay, so panels and all moved back, conduit painted to match, or the conduit would actually run to the back and go up the back that way,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Okay. What else you got, Commissioner Walsh?
That's all I got.
You're a good man. Any other commissioner questions on that? Good. With that, I open it up to, public comment. Any, comment for or against on the project that's presented? Yes, please. You, young man in the back, name for the record.
Alright. I'm Harry Seymour, 68 Washington Road in Springfield. And I would like to see that I approve of the proposal. I'm in favor of solar panels. But I would like to say, while you're up on that roof, get rid of or move that satellite disc. The
Oh, yeah.
disc TV. It's right in the front of the house. It
Yes.
looks not good.
I've been trying to do that.
Well, DirecTV even has non-satellite viewing now. So
Very good. Thank
But
you.
we're replacing the roof, so we can't put it back up.
So I've been trying to.
Okay, anyone else want to comment for you guys?
I'm just glad, Jose Claudio, 100 Clayton, I'm just glad that you came to an agreement and really focused on what the commissioner wants, which is great.
Oh, that's important.
Absolutely.
I have to come back here.
Okay, with that, I would,
And I'm a Hill McKnight. I grew up on Amherst.
excellent.
I say it's a beautiful house.
My grandfather was Moore Jones.
Oh, excellent.
And
Okay, with that, I would entertain a motion to, accept the application of appropriateness for solar 102 Dartmouth Street with the elements that we spoke of. Someone will do that, please.
So
So
moved.
moved.
He gets it.
Second.
these changes tomorrow. And we'll have it done. Redesign.
Does he need to sign those changes or anything?
We just need to put them into the motion.
Okay.
So if you'd like to actually include those into the motion, that'd be very helpful.
So-
I have one more question. If the changes, we asked about midway on the
Yes.
property, what if they come back and say, we're gonna put it all the way on the back, so I have to come back and present that, as long as it's from that point and further back, we're good?
I will put that as part of the motion.
There you go.
So I move that the panels be placed midway or as far back as possible, and that the conduit be placed to the back and be painted to match. And is that enough? We need anything else? And then you take the satellite dish off. when you take it.
Second.
Very good. Okay, any other discussion from commissioners?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, yes, have it. Okay,
Thank
guys,
you so much. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Too.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, the next item, other matters properly before the commission. First item is, letter of support relating to 471, Mayfield Street, exterior and interior renovations.
I'm so happy I'm here.
Welcome.
Jose Claudio, 100 Clayton.
Kind of easy, but we have a short one so far.
Yeah, this is really hit home. You know, I live right on Clayton Street, and it's amazing that, you know, we have three companies working together to make sure that we could create 55 units in the historic right here, the school that I went to, that I love. And having the right team is important. And I just like to know the commission that Capstone, NPC, and Union Citizen Council have come together like three amigos. And to make this happen, we have had a lot of neighborhood meetings with the Urbans. We see what they want and what they want to see in those apartments. And we would like to present the plan that Matthew has, and he's in there to show you guys what we really making with to make it look so beautiful and keep what the school looks like, and really make the neighborhood a place that is going to be great for the movies. Because I just don't want, me personally, and I know Matthew too, we just don't want to put it early because it's early. We want them to feel at home. We want them to feel that this is their place and that they have a lot of input in what's going in there. And that's something that the neighborhood thought about. We had a meeting with them, and Matthew and Jason are you know, two of the guys that have experience doing this in different towns of Massachusetts. And I'm glad that they could come to Springfield and really become a partner to make Redwood School a thing of that will last another 100 years in that neighborhood. And
Thanks, Jose. Yeah. No, it's great to be here, Mr. Commissioner, members of the commission. I appreciate you guys making the time for us this evening. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but my other half is Jose, and you just heard from him. And we're really thrilled to be working with New North Citizens Council and Jose, especially on this extremely important project. Just a little bit of background about myself and my partner, Jason Korb, who couldn't join us this evening. And I appreciate you letting me participate remotely. Just easier.
Matthew, name and home address for the record, please.
Sure. My name is Matthew Zoller, and I live at 313 Elliott Street in Milton, Massachusetts.
Thank you.
Yep. And my company, again, is MPZ Development. And my partner is Capstone Communities, Jason Korb. And we have formed a joint venture with New North Citizens Council to redevelop the Brightwood School on the north side at 471 Plainfield Street. We're here tonight to show you what we've been up to and to ask for 2 letters of support. The first is pressing as we are about to enter into the Massachusetts Historical Commission's round for state historic tax credits. We've already filed with the federal program with the National Park Service. And so we need a letter of support for that application, which is going in on April 30th. And then not shortly there behind, we're also filing with the city for a project, or excuse me, with the state for a project eligibility letter, site eligibility letter for Chapter 40B. We have been in conversations with the city talking about permitting this under the comprehensive permit friendly 40B, otherwise known. And they've been very receptive to that. So we're taking the initial steps to get that underway. And we'd also like a letter of support from you for that. I've drafted 2 letters, and I think Andrew has them. So hopefully they're in your packet. That said, I wanted to give you a little bit more background. Real briefly, MPZ Development has been in business for 6 years. During that time, I've completed 57 units in Bridgewater with my partner, Jason. It's low-income housing tax credit, mixed income housing. It was the rehabilitation of the McElwain School. And it's 57 units, 16 in the school, 3 in a 3-family home, and we built a 39-unit passive house building. I'm telling you this because it's all relevant to what we're doing here at Brightwood. And then we just broke ground on 54 units in Templeton, which is on Route 2 next to Gardner. Again, a rehab of the Baldwinville School with a new addition on the back. And we are saving a single-family home there as well as part of the project. So that brings us here to Springfield, and I was at an RFP walkthrough and met Jose, and you know, we do this type of work. We love historic preservation. We embrace family housing, senior housing for folks that, you know, work real hard and they need a nice place to stay. We wouldn't build anything that we wouldn't live in ourselves. So that's our motto. And we're thrilled to be working again at Brightwood. It's such a beautiful building, outside and inside. It just needs a little bit of TLC. So that's what we're proposing to do here. 55 units of senior housing, of which there will be primarily 1-bedroom units, because that's what the state's program allows for. So 53 of those, and then 2 2-bedroom units, and then a host of space for community events and places for people to gather. Yeah, maybe if we could go to the landscape plan, that would be a good one. These are all existing conditions.
Like Matthew. We're very superficial here at the Historic Commission. It's all what it looks like from the outside.
Okay.
Everything else is important, but as far as our purview, that's our viewpoint.
Sure. So here you see the elevations of the existing building that were done to scale. These a scanning company. So this is a true replica of what currently is there today, and we are required to rehabilitate this building in order with the National Park Service's requirements. So we will go through a rigorous process with NPS and basically try to make the building look as good as it did when it was first built in the late 1800s. So our charge is to replace all the windows, you know, clean up the brick, make sure that, you know, the facade is reapportioned. We'll take off the dog houses around the building that are not contributing. You can see them. I can annotate this. These structures here are not historic and are quite ugly. So we'll take those types of things off. And all of this will, you know, be in accordance with the Secretary of the Interior standard. So we're undergoing that process right now. This project has been approved at a high level by MHC in something called a project notification form that we got approval for in January. And so that's the first step in kind of saying, okay, we want to rehabilitate this building. We want to convert it from a school into housing, and then we're going to put a new addition on it. So that's the additional piece here. So if you kind of scroll through the next set of plans, you can see here's some color elevations. So we're adding a connector, which you see in metal panel is a gray piece. And what that does is it allows this building to become code compliant. So through the renovation, we'll also make it code compliant and accessible, ADA accessible. So all of the circulation that has to meet the code is going to be in this connector that you see here. We'll have 2 elevators, and the stairs will be brought up to code. We're converting the basement into units, and we're also adding a fitness center down there. We'll have it all ramped according to code. And so, you know, this is going to be a significant investment here in the city. If you scroll down to the next, you can see this is the addition that we're adding. This is a passive house addition. This will be an all-electric building. So we're getting rid of the gas, and we're trying to kind of elevate the level of clean energy being used in the historic portion as well. We'll preserve the hallways as they are, all the common spaces, all the woodwork, all of those things will be kept. We'll keep some of the chalkboards in the units. We'll drop soffits for the kitchen, and we'll integrate the kitchen and living space into the plans. You can see some of that. These are window shop drawings, more elevations of the existing structure. This is the front on Plainfield Street. And then if you go to the end of the packet, you'll see 3 renderings that we had done. So the first one, if you go back, the right-hand side is the new Passive House addition. That's the connector I spoke to in the center, and then the historic building that'll be revitalized to the left. There's another shot of the new construction, and we're also looking to include a neighborhood bodega in here. So this little glassy area will be reserved for a bodega. That's something that the community discussed with us, and we'll have all sorts of amenities throughout the site for the residents. You know, shuffleboard, dominoes, barbecue, all the things that people want to, you know, partake in. And this really invites the neighborhood to come to the redevelopment. And so that's the plan. And if you go to the last rendering, because this is a senior development, we've made accommodations for seniors. So there's an overhang so people can pull up and get dropped off, go to their appointments. There's about 37 parking spaces here, all on site. And yeah, I think in a nutshell, that's what we're proposing. We've done this in several communities. We really love this work. We're passionate about it, and we'd love your support. And yeah, I'll stop there and take any questions.
Questions from board members on the project? Commissioner Walsh, any questions online?
No questions. It sounds really good to me.
That looks great.
Great.
Really, really nice.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do this without the help of the
Agreed.
Jose and
Love the black windows, love all the detail that you got.
Just to let you know that Jason and Matt are like sergeants when they wanted like a historic and the things that they really the neighbor asked, they have put everything into it. And they really into the elderly, you know, give things, a lot of things back to the legacy.
So
Chairman Kroll?
Commissioner Walsh? Go ahead.
Well, somebody, I think Vanna was about to speak. Go ahead.
do we need to read the letter into the?
So there's actually 2 letters. One, they're both relatively the same as far as the letter of support. So we would take 2 votes. One's for Mass Historic, and the other letter is tax credit and home program.
site eligibility program. Sorry, it's just addressed to the right individual and at the state.
Can you read into the record?
I don't think so. Normally, what would happen is you would go issue the letter of support, and then we'd be doing it behind the scenes.
Okay.
I'd make a motion that we issue a letter of support for the Brightwood School project.
Before April 30.
Second.
Should say 2 letters.
Yeah, well, let's do the first one. Let's do the first one for Mass Historic.
Well, mine would be for Mass Historic then.
Second. Okay. Any other discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I would entertain a motion for a letter of support, the last second letter of support for the tax credit loan program. Okay, the second, please.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Wow. Well, you got them all. You need 4 and you got 4. See, perfect
Thank
score.
you.
Thank you so much.
Matthew, thank you.
Thank you.
No,
Nice
thank
meeting
you
all.
very much.
Thank you for your time.
Congratulations.
We'll be in touch. Take care.
I'll be-
Thanks.
We'll invite you to the grand.
Well, this is all letters
Oh,
of project. Once the project actually gets approved, then.
I hope I get invited.
Project, so.
We'll be invited. I'll be here.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Great, thank you. Next item is, standard guidelines for those, local historic districts without specific guidelines.
Yeah, so, kind of been presenting this the last couple of meetings, but we've been going long.
Yeah.
Don't know if anyone has had an opportunity to look at them. And if so, if there's any feedback, you know, or if you're ready to move forward, I think we have to hold a public hearing on guidelines.
They seem very clear.
So I guess my only ask to the commissioners that are here is there's 4 of us here tonight. There's typically 6, so would we wait till a night that there's all of us, or do we feel that this has been seen enough that we can go tonight, please?
Or at least, put it forward. I don't know if we necessarily need a vote since we need to have a hearing on it, but like if you guys feel like.
To have a
ready.
vote to push it forward to a
Oh,
hearing,
yeah, you're fine.
right? So that's,
I would make a motion to put for a vote to push that to a hearing.
great. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. There you go, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
Next item would be the proposed Bernie Taylor, Lay Block Local Historic District update.
Yeah, so I was hoping to have something from Shannon Walsh from PVPC, but let me bring up the district. I'll show you what is going on, and I'll share my screen in a second. Commissioner Walsh. So, so I asked Shannon to essentially look at the area that wraps around the Mattoon district and seeing what would be feasible to be in a district. So we would kind of sever this leg on Federal Square Upper State and include this area. So she's looking at all the buildings that are in this area and seeing if we can, you know, merge some of these districts together and create one district rather than having, I think there's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Bernie Taylor Lay Block is here. So there's 5, there'd be 5 districts that are in close proximity. So Shannon's going to be producing a report to you guys, hopefully for the next meeting that I can issue. And we can go from there on what we think a potential new district might look like.
And these are all standalone historics today.
This one, yeah.
No.
So
the ones in light blue are,
yeah, let me
right.
turn it off then.
what's not? So I guess that's my only question is what would we be including that isn't today?
Yeah, so I got rid of the national
Okay.
historic stuff, so it would be here, these two, the Appermont Triangle and Willis, is that how you say it? Willis, Overland Block, and then you have Thurston Munson House over here, the Bernie Lake, or the Bernie Taylor Lake Block is here.
Mhm.
And then we have this kind of jog from Federal Square.
Yep.
So it'd be kind of severing here and then looking at
taken,
Yeah, fire, spring, Salem, Pearl, and winter, and kind of looking at this area. And seeing if it can all be, if some of these can be like merged into one area. So she'll have a report on that.
okay.
That's substantially more than they were suggesting at first, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Bernie Taylor Lay block was 3 buildings, three properties.
Yeah,
But Mass Historic came back with the feedback of trying to encourage bigger districts. And kind of steering away from the single building districts. So I have Shannon kind of looking at it. It doesn't mean all those
Okay.
buildings will be in there, but you know, once she gets that report, it will hopefully help guide the commission on what
Yeah.
should be in a potential district.
Well, she usually does a pretty comprehensive report, so I look forward to seeing that.
great.
So that's all I have for that, and hopefully for the next meeting.
Okay, then administrative updates?
Yeah, so I haven't issued any letters of support or any non-applicability since our last meeting. But I just have one detail to put on the historic ordinance, and that will be ready to go. I was hoping to have it to give you guys today, but I will have it in an email to you between now and next meeting. And our next meeting with some of the continued stuff and how big our agenda is, it might make more sense to hold a special meeting that's dedicated for the ordinance. And you know,
Just talk about that.
talk about it and take feedback. So you know, we should probably look at our schedules. Maybe next meeting we can figure that out. So. And that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Eldest has not left the building yet, so don't go anywhere. Just a quorum call for May 1st.
I'll be here.
I'll be here. I'll be there, I think.
I know you're singing a different tune.
I will not be here.
Okay. Congratulations. I hope you have a blast.
All right, where are you going?
Mexico
Oh, good. Excellent.
for a wedding.
Yeah, very nice.
So I think Al said he will be here. So,
Okay.
we should have a quorum, but as I always
Then-
do,
Yeah.
do you guys want me to reach out? How would you, I can make this easier. Do you want me to text you about quorum calls? Like, do you guys prefer text? Or then you can answer on your own time rather than a phone call? Does that work?
We always love talking to you, but texts.
Whatever you got.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I know, reaching out, you know, I might miss you guys, so text kind of.
Well, the text is preferred, but if I don't answer, don't hesitate to call, because if it goes past a day, it's not in my text feed anymore, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you know, I'm just trying to find ways to make it easy for you all, so.
You're doing a heck of a job already,
Great
so
job.
just keep doing it.
I don't mind the voice. I mean, voice is still the killer app. Everything else can get lost sometimes. So you get voicemail text can get overseen, we forget about it, so. Text to me, voice to me is always, it just trumps everything, so.
Okay.
Public speak out? Anything to say?
Well, the only thing on my
Shared.
mind is, as chairman of the Forest Park Civic Association's Historical Committee, we are actively working in the area of streetlights. And I had mentioned it one time before, that we might come to you and see if you think it's somehow in your purview to have an opinion, a letter of support with an opinion about streetlights. More and more of the lights that are being put in are Cobra style lights, the big ones with the arching kind of arm on them. And we don't think that's appropriate for an historic district. And you can look many places in the neighboring towns or even in Springfield and see lots of historic lighting, brand new historic lights. And so I don't see why we shouldn't push to have historic lights in historic districts.
Great. Look forward to seeing that.
Okay.
It's a 2009 certificate of approval for the Edwards Mattoon. And I forget the last group down there, but there is an approval for specific historical lighting.
It's definitely something that, whether it can be done or not, would be, I mean, there is historic lighting, so it would fit, in my opinion, with historic commission, because it's named and it's a fixture, but I don't know municipally if that is a thing or not a thing. But
Well, I did, wasn't part of the problem that some of the lighting that we would like to see historic was not in a district.
yeah,
And I think in the past, if, you know, I might be wrong about this, but there was some lighting that there were, I'm going to say donations, or there was a grant or something to make them historic years ago, which may not exist, but I would love to see, Harry, the stuff you're talking about, you're not wrong, you're right about it, and I would love to see, at least inquire about our purview. I don't think it's going to be there if it's not an actual district. So, but it doesn't, I don't know why that would stop us from issuing an opinion that if we were able to, that we should use historic lighting.
that's a legal thing for us, if we can have an opinion on streetlights in a historic district. I would encourage that, because
I mean, it's just an opinion. It's not a directive. It's not a mandate. It's just an opinion. So I might go out on a limb on that one.
I would echo that.
Are you going to draft one for us to?
Yeah, but don't look for it, in the short period of time. It's gonna take,
Right.
It's a complex subject.
Right.
And we are meeting, we're scheduling a meeting now with Eversource to talk directly to them. We've had some conversations, some letter writing back and forth to Chris Signoli and DPW. It's not gonna happen all at once. It's not like we're gonna come in and take all the old Cobra lights out and put all new historic lights in, right? But there are lots of occasions where lights are being replaced.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there are opportunities, I think, if we can get the right cost structure together to make it work. So we're working on it.
Awesome.
We'll be back to you. And I'm glad to hear that, there's a general level of support.
Thank you, Harry.
With that, there's nothing left on the agenda, ladies and gentlemen. I would entertain a motion to dismiss.
So moved.
All those in favor?
All right.
Thanks, everybody.